Buenos dias. Look, I'm barefoot again. Bare feet. For those of you that keep commenting on it, you know how good it is to walk over the grass and feel the grass on your feet. You should try it. I hate shoes. I hate shoes. They're horrible. My feet feel all blah. Fucking shoes. The comments. I know what teachers feel like now. Those kids just don't get it. It's like, right, I had loads of things in my head. AI. People saying, oh, you can get AI to say anything. You've just proved that AI is a yes man. No, I haven't. When I first started talking to AI, I said, how long does it take for light to get here from the sun? He said, 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And I said, no, it doesn't. It can't. Because during the solar eclipse, the sun is directly behind the moon. How can it take 8 minutes and 20 seconds? It's true. And then he went, okay, yeah, you're right. And I said, because light's absolute, there is no delay. And he went, yeah, kind of, and yada yada. He's not a yes man. You cannot even question AI. You don't even know how to question AI. The fact is, if you do not have enough knowledge, when you talk to AI and you ask it a question about anything, if you don't have the knowledge to question it, it's going to give you the predictable answer, the mainstream answer to everything. That's a fact. You need to know what questions to ask it, because it doesn't lie. It's not a yes man. I know that light is absolute, and I got the truth out of AI. It's easy. You just need to know what questions to ask. So don't say I proved it's a yes man. It won't come up with any other speed of light, because absolute is the speed of light. That is why I asked it the questions that I asked it, to get the truth out of it. So those of you who keep saying, oh, AI this, you don't trust AI. No, I don't trust AI. It lied to me at the very beginning with the 8 minutes and 20 seconds, but I know it's a lie. So I bounced it with a few truths and a few facts, and it had no choice but to say, yeah, you're right. I hope that one's settled. You guys just, it's like you're struggling with this, right? The other one, so many comments. One person, 4 or 5 different comments. Oh no, that's that, or that sun is that, or no, that wouldn't be. Shut up. Explain the solar eclipse using finite light. Don't pick at my content. Explain the solar eclipse with finite light. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. Dunning Kruger. That's the other one that keeps coming up quite often the last couple of days. Do you even know what Dunning Kruger is? Let's listen. Your favourite.
When I see people with active minds trying to tackle the great unknowns in the universe, it's a beautiful thing that people want to participate on this frontier. What can happen if you're a fan of a subject, it's possible to know enough about that subject to think you're right, but not enough about that subject to know that you're wrong. And so there's this sort of valley in there, a valley of false confidence. This has been studied by others, and it's called the Dunning Kruger effect. It's the phenomenon where a little bit of knowledge over-assess how much of that subject you actually know. And then when you learn even more, you realize, no, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. So then there's a sort of a lull there. And then when you learn even more, you come back up. Ultimately, learning enough to know whether you were right or wrong. To become an expert means you spend all this time of study, especially looking through journals where new ideas are published and contested. That's what we have learned is the most effective means of establishing that which is objective. I'm delighted.
That was it. So, Dunning Kruger, for those of you who keep saying I'm suffering from it, you guys are suffering from it. Bad, real bad. I'm here and I've explained why a solar eclipse cannot play out with Mickey Mouse photons. The reason for that is because in 8 minutes and 20 seconds that it takes to get here, planet Earth will spin 2.08 degrees anti-clockwise on its axis. Every single explanation that you guys have ever given, you're lacking that piece of information. It's a massive piece of information. All you guys keep saying is, no, it's 8 minutes and 20 seconds delayed. It's 8 minutes and 20 seconds that way. It's 8 minutes. In 8 minutes and 20 seconds, planet Earth spins by 2.08 degrees anti-clockwise on its axis. That is a long way. 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The sun cannot be directly behind the moon. It cannot be directly behind the moon and people seeing the sun's corona around the moon with finite light, because it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for the photons to arrive here from the sun. In that 8 minutes and 20 seconds, planet Earth, it started there. That's the sweet spot. The sweet spot was facing this way. 8 minutes and 20 seconds before the sweet spot. So the people are all excited because in 8 minutes and 20 seconds, they're going to be, bang, witnessing that. So the photons leave the sun when the sweet spot, these people are facing 2.08 degrees away from the sweet spot that they're going to find themselves in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Photons leave. Planet Earth spins 2.08 degrees in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Bang! These particular photons are now being blocked by the moon. The sun cannot be directly behind the moon because there is a gap of 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The sun would now be that way because it's moved on, hasn't it? It cannot be in the same picture as the photons because that would mean there is no gap. And that is my point. There is no gap because it is the light source being blocked by the moon. Guys, you don't even know, you don't get it. You don't get the 2.08 degrees. That's what this is. Dunning Kruger. I've explained it with absolute light, with finite light. I've given every reason why it cannot work. Logical reasons. They're correct. And your man over there is saying Dunning Kruger is when people think they know what they're talking about, but they don't quite know what they're talking about. That is you lot. Deal with it, okay? Deal with it. It's not me. I am here telling you with facts, right, why it doesn't work. Those of you who just keep picking at my content, don't. Drop an explanation for how a solar eclipse plays out with finite light. You cannot. There is no logical explanation. It cannot work. It has to be absolute light. There is no delay. It's pretty damn stupid to think there is. Anybody who's seen a solar eclipse must have enough common sense to understand that the sun is directly behind the moon. It cannot be anywhere else. It's absolute light. And people saying, of course you'd see the sun. We see the sun if there's a delay of 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You just see it delayed. Here we are again. No, you don't. You cannot see the sun delayed because it's 8 minutes and 20 seconds away, isn't it? And in that 8 minutes and 20 seconds, planet Earth turns 2.08 degrees. So on a sunny day, when you go out there and you play shadows like I did when Simon Dan tried to rip me to shreds, but it backfired. When you put this stick, for example, and you get a shadow and the light source is the sun, if there was a delay the shadow, the photons that have travelled for 8 minutes and 20 seconds will be hitting this, right, bang, but the sun would not be there because it is already 8 minutes and 20 seconds gone, because that's how long it took the photons to get here. What you're seeing is the light source behind any object that casts a shadow, because it's the light source being blocked. This should be just basic common sense. But no, it's a science. Relativity. Call relativity in now. It's a load of rubbish, because there is no light delay. What else? There's more. This Sneeper Duper Rooper Peeper guy on Rumble. Read his comments. I feel for the poor guy. He's just like everybody else. The comments that you're making are pointless, because during a solar eclipse, the sun is directly behind the moon, okay? It's directly behind the moon because there is no light delay. And the shadow that's being cast by the moon is not being cast because of photons being blocked. It's being cast because the light source, the sun itself, is being blocked by the moon in real time. If there was a delay of 8 minutes and 20 seconds, guys, you would never see the sun in the sky. How would you? It's like you're on a merry-go-round, right? And there's somebody about 20 meters away throwing stones, right? Hard, fast. No, actually, they take 8 minutes and 20 seconds to get to the person. Guys are spinning around. You're just there. You throw a stone at them. Whew! Stone flies. Still turning. So when the stone hits them, even if it hits them, even if you aim slightly ahead, so that when the stone hits them, they're directly in line with you, right? So you throw it slightly ahead, you predict where they're going to be, so they're right directly in line. Bang! What happens? They look at the stone and they see you behind the stone. Bang! They don't look, get hit by the stone and go, do they? Because you're directly behind the stone throw. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You cannot have a light delay because you'd never see the physical sun. All of the shadows would be, shadows would be hitting the grass or the wherever, but there would be no light source there. It would just be photons like these. It doesn't make any sense. So Dunning Kruger, you guys, stop picking at the content, drop a proper explanation for how a solar eclipse works with finite light. I've been asking for that for I don't know how long. I give up. Nobody will come up with it because there is only one answer, and that answer proves that light is absolute. All of the other answers are illogical and rubbish. Guys, you do not understand your own science. And don't think this majority thing, just because it's all of you, you think just because all of you say that I have Dunning Kruger, that I suddenly have Dunning Kruger. No. All of you have Dunning Kruger because you think you understand science. You think you could explain it, but nobody can. Nobody has yet come up with a logical answer. The reason for that is there is only one logical answer, and it proves that light is absolute. So, stop it. Right, I will be back a little bit later. I think it's to talk about relativity. Oh, look at that, 1452. Awesome. Later, peeps. Light delay.